Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janaea, if you do not know me, and this is Monster Arts. In my last video I mentioned this. I would love to make a bleaching clothes video. I've kind of already got a plan in my head on how I want like a hoodie to look, so keep an eye out for that video next. And that is a truck. and this is that video. Today I'm going to be bleaching, making my own patches, doing some sewing, embroidery, and putting some studs and spikes on some stuff. I have done some patchwork and some bleaching work in the past. This is the little skeleton hoodie that I think you saw in the last video, but I'm showing it again because I love it so much. As always, I have created a little mock-up rough sketch of what I want the hoodie to look like. I'll put it on screen now. I don't really have anything else to say other than I'm really excited to start this project. So I'm going to give you a real good look on what the hoodie looks like before I do anything to it, and that is this clip. So this is the hoodie that I will be bleaching and patching. Obviously there's a logo here and there's a logo on the back. So we're going to be covering those up with patches that I will be making out of my lino prints, like the ones you saw last video. And I've also got these studs and a bunch of spikes that I will be using as well, because I love the idea of putting these little spikes around the hood. Maybe add a little bit of embroidery in there too, because I've done that before on my jacket, which you have seen in the past. I painted on the back of it. If you haven't seen that video before, it's actually a really cool video. I'd highly suggest checking that out. First things first, it wouldn't be a bleaching video without actually bleaching something, so let's go bleach this guy. So I want the bleach design to be kind of in a spiral. Welcome. So I've watched a bit of tutorials on how people actually do get the spiral. They end up doing something like this, where they pinch it right in the middle and then just like spin like this, and then end up making it into a ball and putting rubber bands or some string or something like that to keep it in the form of a ball. So that's what I'm gonna try and do, and then I'm gonna go bleach it outside, because please be aware that bleach stains everything. That's the point of this. It strips everything of color, so please do stuff like this outside, and especially heavily ventilated areas, because you do not want to be breathing in bleach. Okay, I think this absolute unit of a ball should be pretty good. The bleaching part of the hoodie is finished. It is complete. It looks so good. I pretty much just left the hoodie outside to dry in the sun. Took a really grainy photo of it. The spiral part of what I tried to do didn't really turn out the way that I wanted it. It kind of did. You can kind of see it in certain areas, but either way, I don't mind. It looks sick. But now that this is done and completely dry, let's go make some patches. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I make my patches with these lino prints. You have seen this lino print in the last video when I made my brain rot t-shirt. So it's pretty much going to be almost the exact same process, but instead of it being on a t-shirt, it's going to be on this patch fabric that I have, and we're going to cut them out and then sew them on. These are the materials you will need. I got this from my local fabric store. It's pretty much like a canvas kind of material. So what we're going to do right now, I'm just gonna map out where I want these and how big they're gonna be. Where this kind of fold is, I feel like, is a good indicator on where I want them, because I don't really want these frilly bits on the patch itself. Yeah, the patch may frill a little bit because of just the texture of the fabric, but I don't really want this on there, so I think I'm just gonna move it to there. I'm just gonna use this fold line as a guide real quick. I am not one for measuring things a lot of the time. I kind of just freeball a lot of stuff, but that's kind of what makes it more unique in my brain. Is this making sense? Probably not. Ah, fuck. Ow. Injury has occurred. Shit. That went so far into my finger, dude. Ow. Anyway, almost the exact same process as in the last video. Take some of your ink, put it on the glass. I got some ink on there. Whoops. I got ink on the thing. This isn't going very well. Or to plan at all. I've had an injury and I'm being messy. That's the joys of being at home. A DIY kind of person. Anyway, lay this out here. I'm gonna put... Oh my goodness, pick it up! I'm gonna put this here as a little buffer, just so I don't get ink where I don't want it. There's hair in the ink, oh my god. Roll that all over there. Place that there. Try not to get any blood from my finger onto the white. These next two lino prints, I think I've shown this one in my last video, just as an example, but this is my bat one. You haven't seen this one yet, but with this print, I only want the bear trap design. I don't want any of the words. So it's gonna be a little bit harder to print, but I'll figure that out. So we're gonna do that one last. I've only ever printed this once, just on a piece of paper, which I really, really liked. So I've never printed it on fabric before, so I'm kind of nervous, but look how cool that looks. One of the other things I really love about lino printing is like when you're putting ink on the lino, you can kind of see how it's going to turn out. Okay, like I said, I only want this design. I don't want any of the words. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be super careful about it. Okay, put something heavy on top of it as a little buffer and just press down with all of your might. Gorgeous. Oh, that looks so sick. This is the real moment of truth because I didn't want any of the littering. Ah, yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go clean all of the ink off of these guys, and then I'm actually gonna measure this time, I promise. I'm gonna measure kind of how big I want the actual patch to be. I think I may have messed up a little here, but I'll figure that out. I'm gonna go print some more little patches, you'll see that in a minute. And then after that is all finished, we can actually start sewing them onto the hoodie. I have this absolutely beautiful stack of patches that I have made and cut out. Now we gotta figure out where we want them. I'm gonna start with the front first, obviously wanting to cover up this logo. And I already have an idea of what I want to put there, which is this one. You saw me print this one earlier. I ended up going over it just with some ink to make it a little bit more vibrant because it was a bit dull, like you saw in this little heart one. So this pretty much fits over the logo like almost perfectly. But I know that I want this one here, so I'm gonna hand sew these on just with a needle and thread. So obviously when you're sewing like this piece of fabric can move around while you're sewing, especially when you pick up the fabric. As you can see that it kind of comes off. So what you can do is you can get these little pins. Make sure you're picking up one side of the hoodie. You do not want to grab the back side at the same time, or vice versa. And you just push that through and push that through the other side, and you do that all the way around and it stays in place. I've also seen people use glue sticks, which I haven't actually used before, but I might give it a go on some of the smaller patches. I've also seen people use double-sided tape, which is kind of the same theory of the glue stick. You flip this over, stick it on the back, and you can stick it to the actual fabric itself. I've used this method before, it actually does work. I'm gonna be using all three methods during this, but honestly when it comes to sewing like this, you just kind of take what works best for you. I like to double thread my needle because I like to believe that it makes it stronger. So the two ends of my thread, put them together. I like to get a needle that has the eye quite large, so you're not sitting here going, I can't get it through. Pull it through so you can find the end of the loop that you've created, and then you create a little knot at the end of this. I like to knot it a good couple of times so I know that it's not going to come through the fabric. So I'm going from the bottom of the hoodie. Take a needle, go all the way through till you're under the patch. And you can see here that you can kind of see where I'm pushing the needle. And we're going to take the needle and pull it all the way through. The knot that we've created prevents it from coming back out through the fabric. Is I'm going to be doing a stitch kind of like this. I don't know what it's called. I'll put it up on the screen. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through. I like to do this and kind of push it back through. Get a good grip and then you just pull it all the way through. Make sure you're not doing it too tight either. You don't want it to like scrunch. So leave it a good slack and then do it again. It's done. It is done, it is finished, and I am so insanely happy with how this thing turned out. I love it. I think I'm gonna absolutely live in this hoodie from now on. As you can see, I ended up putting the spikes along the top of the hood, kind of like a mohawk. It goes all the way down to the back. If you can see that, I'll put a clip here if you can see it. This whole video is pretty much over the span of like maybe 2 weeks. So I spent a lot of time and a lot of love and a lot of blood, sweat and tears, as you saw. Oh. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on this project. I think you can tell by the amount of stuff that's on it and the amount of like care that I put into stitching everything on, and I love it. And I hope you love this video and this hoodie as much as I do. By the way, if you do want to see more up close videos and photos, I will be posting it on my Instagram. It is literally just Monster Arts on Instagram. I will put a little link in the description so it's easier. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you do want to see more videos like this from me in the future, please leave a like and a comment down below. Might as well subscribe while you're down there, by the way, just to keep updated with when I upload. Thank you guys so much again for watching this video. I love you, and I will see you in the next video when I come up with another project out of my crazy little brain. Bye!